have been attacked by chemical weapons. He also said that the threat of American intervention is based on no evidence whatsoever.
What happened in your judgment?
We're not in the area where the alleged chemical attack was happened, as it alleged. We're not sure that anything happened.
Even at this date, you are not sure that chemical weapons, even though you have seen the videotape, even though you've seen the bodies, even though your own officials have been there.
I haven't finished. Our soldiers in another area were attacked chemically. Our soldiers. They went to the hospital as casualties because of chemical weapons. But in the area where they said the government used chemical weapons, we only had video and we only have pictures and allegations. We're not there. Our forces, our police, our institutions don't exist. How can you talk about what happened if you don't have evidences? We're not like the American administration. We're not social media administration or government. We are the government that deal with reality. It's about evidence. The Russians have completely opposite evidence that the missiles were thrown from area where the rebels control. That reminds me about what Kerry said, about the big lie that Colin Powell said in front of the world on satellites about the WMD in Iraq before going to war. When he said, this is our evidence, he gave false evidence. In this case, Kerry didn't even present any evidence. He talked, we have evidence, and he didn't present anything. So you cannot expect. It's difficult for anyone to tell you what's going to happen. It's an area where everything is on the brink of explosion. You have to expect everything.
Well, these are the other developments so far today. US Secretary of State John Kerry, who's in London for talks with Foreign Secretary William Hague, insists that America is not going to war with Syria, but can't ignore the use of chemical weapons. President Obama will appear on 6 separate American TV networks later today in a bid to boost public support for military action. And meanwhile, Syria's foreign minister is in Moscow, where Russia's foreign minister has called for a ceasefire in the civil war and for peace talks. Well, the consequence